Hello, everyone. My name is Olli Sotamaa. I'm presenting today with my colleagues Tom Apperley. Maybe Tom, you can also turn on your camera. And Jaakko Suominen. I'm not sure if Jaakko is here right now, but I mean, like, he's been presenting already before in this conference, so you should recognize him as well. We all represent the Center of Excellence in Game Culture Studies, which is a consortium organized between 3 Finnish universities and funded by the Academy of Finland. Our presentation today will focus on the Nokia N-gage gaming platform. And Tom, let's see if I need to kind of change the scene. Here we have. Tom has kindly promised to provide the first part of our presentation, and I will then take care of the second part. So without further ado, Tom, I believe the floor is yours.
Thank you, Olli. It's really nice to see so many friends and colleagues from around the world here right now. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Tom Apperley, and I'm a Senior Research Fellow here at the Center for Excellence in Game Cultural Studies at University of Tampere. Also, additional information is that I always look like this. This isn't my COVID look, just for your information, in case you're wondering what's up with the beard and the long hair. All right, so the Nokia N-gage was conceptualized as a hybrid device, which would operate both as a mobile phone and a portable gaming device. This would capitalize on Nokia's prominence in mobile networking by pioneering mobile network gaming. And it was anticipated that this would appeal to a growing sector of people who were walking around in the early 2000s with mobile phones and Game Boy Advanced in their pants pockets. The original Nokia N-gage was launched in October 2003. It was very quickly followed by the N-gage QD in May 2004. The QD's design fixed some of the more controversial and obvious problems with the initial platform. For example, it no longer required the batteries to be removed in order to change the game that you had inside the phone. And it also now could be effectively used as a phone without having to hold it sideways. After the N-gage was discontinued in 2006, the name at least was recycled, and in early 2008, the N-gage 2.0 was launched. The N-gage 2.0 was conceptualized as a gaming service, and it was available on all Nokia S60 series smartphones, of which there were a great number. This service was discontinued from late 2009, so it lasted about 18 months. Approximately 60 games were published for the N-gage gaming platform between October 2003 and May 2006. Next slide, please, Olli. We're interested in exploring the N-gage to develop a prehistory of contemporary mobile gaming. The N-gage offers us a way to explore the intersection of particularly Finnish issues within a wider global network culture, as well as developing a better understanding of this area of the Finnish media history. We imagine that this project can engage constructively with media archaeology to conceptualize the peculiar afterlife that this apparently dead technology has in Finland and elsewhere. Platform studies and platformatization also offer fruitful material for explicating the N-gage, the mutability of the N-gage from hardware to service, the status of the N-gage as a critical and commercial failure, and its periphery and outsider status from the centers of the gaming industry all suggest lines of research that can continue to enrich the area of platform studies. As this project is developed in collaboration with curators, we're also considering how we can incorporate a cultural heritage dimension into our project. Next slide, please, Ollie. The N-gage is significant for enhancing our understanding of the history of mobile gaming, as it offers us fully realized, mass-produced, and mass-marketed vision of mobile gaming that predates the App Store paradigm and that now dominates contemporary mobile gaming. The device emerges from a telecommunications paradigm which extends mobile telecommunications into the existing portable gaming market. The N-gage offers an interesting and productive trajectory for exploring the confluence of the national and the global in the Finnish context. Nokia is a globally recognized, innovative and leading brand at the time when the N-gage was launched, and Nokia had an enormous influence on the Finnish economy at the time. The N-gage has become part of the national success story of the Finnish mobile gaming industry, which has several high-profile successes, amongst which Angry Birds by Rovio is maybe the most well-known. Nokia's early investment in the sector is, according to this discourse, what enabled this recent success. The project also offers us an opportunity to approach the notion of failed technology more thoroughly. The N-gage was given considerable support in that it survived long enough to fail 3 times. First, the initial device was discontinued, then the QD was discontinued, and also the service itself was rapidly discontinued. And it wasn't just a commercial failure, it was also, it was a commercial failure which massively undersold Nokia's projections. It was also, in many cases, critically panned for the way that it looked, for the difficult interface in operating, so the buttons in particular were singled out, and also because it lacked very many titles at the launch and was very slow to catch up to create a large portfolio, and that there were many ports which were such poor quality or such odd interpretations of the original game that it was hard to understand how they could still be, called the same game. Next slide, please, Ollie. The project has been developed in partnership with the Finnish Museums of Games in Tampere of Apperley, and the research we're initiating will contribute to a planned exhibition on the N-gage curated by Outi Penenkangas and Nicholas Nyland. This exhibition was planned for this year, but has now been rescheduled for next year. Sorry, it was planned for next year, but it's now been rescheduled for the following year. The work we have planned together has been delayed by the COVID situation. And this has also kind of delayed our research as well, because we were planning to hold a series of workshops with N-gage stakeholders, which included former Nokia employees, designers who worked on games for the N-gage, and other N-gage collectors and enthusiasts. And we're hoping to continue these workshops in some form next year, maybe online. Next slide, please, Ollie. In addition to the workshops, we will examine the N-gage materials that are in the museum archives, as well as looking at our own archives at the Tampere Game Lab and in our facilities at Oasis. We also plan to collate the media coverage of the Nokia platform and games from a period of around 2003 to 2006 in key Finnish language and international outlets. And we've found a few game design manuals for the N-gage, that we'll look at as well, and we hope to also conduct close analysis of several selected games. And yeah, one of the aspects of the N-gage we hope to explore more thoroughly is its conceptualization as a hybrid. We not necessarily planning to go into Bruno Latour territory here. It's just this idea that it's kind of two technologies married together. This was supposed to be an advantage for the platform, which was going to make it distinct from its market rivals. But it turns out that this hybrid model was really rapidly eclipsed by the smartphone, which operated as a multi-purpose device and wasn't kind of perceived as gaming plus phone. This hybrid element of the N-gage shaped the device's design and redesign, marketing and use, and we think this can offer a valuable insight into how this failed trajectory of mobile gaming was understood prior to the emergence of the App Store model for smartphones. So I'll pass over to Olli now.
Thank you, Tom. So to provide a bit more of a kind of contextual framing, we also want to remind you that Nokia was founded more than 150 years ago by engineers, and the company got its name from a small town located next to Tampere, actually. This is just to kind of remind you that in order to understand N-gage, it is important to first understand a bit of Nokia and it's the kind of the company heritage. And in order to understand Nokia, especially the kind of the turn of the millennium Nokia, it's kind of important to understand a bit of Finland. Since in the year 2000, Nokia accounted for approximately 3% of the Finnish GDP. In other words, it was a very big deal for the whole country. And for example, the state-funded R&D projects and also university education in certain fields were carefully customized for Nokia's needs. So what we have in this kind of turn of the millennium Nokia is not only a kind of dominant player in the global telecom market, but also very much a national project. And this ethos is something we feel that is kind of important to take into account when looking at Nokia. Tom already mentioned a bit about this. If you look at the present day Finnish game industry with studios like Supercell or Rovio, there's a temptation to make this connection between Nokia's project and the current day successes. What is true is that the European video game industry in general has seldom been supported by significant local hardware platforms or major publishers. And with the advent of N-gage, the small Finnish development studios suddenly had a global publisher practically next door. But at the same time, it is also clear that while N-gage provided an early opportunity to seriously think about mobile games as a business, its role has also taken a more of a kind of mythic dimension over the years, or in the discourses around the national game industry. As already discussed, combining a phone and a gaming platform was obviously not without its problems. As Tom mentioned, you had to use N-gage in order to use N-gage as a cell phone that required users to put it sideways against their heads, quickly leading to a variety of jokes and memes. and so forth. Accordingly, these days, N-gage is largely seen as a technical failure, a failed platform. But at the same time, there are kind of, if you look at just like the features the N-gage had, especially related to the network nature of the phone, there are kind of some interesting potential for new kinds of or new forms of play. But this potential was pretty much wasted as the game seldom fully utilized these features. And this kind of leads us to kind of ponder that in addition to the technical challenges, it seems that there was also a failure in understanding the audience and the emerging changes in game cultures. And if we take Charlie Chess's nice term and look at the designed identities associated with N-gage, it is very clear that it's pretty much the kind of the traditional male gamer that Nokia engineers had in mind. And if we look at how mobile games have contributed to the development of game culture since the days of N-gage, this now looks like a pretty drastic shortcoming.
Holly, just to make sure you heard the chimes, this is a 5 minutes to go mark.
Very good, since this is my last slide. So just to conclude, it's just like a very quick kind of list of takeaways from the presentation. These are kind of some of the themes that we find interesting, want to develop further during the project. First is that N-gage allows us to explore the kind of the expectations and the desires targeted to converging mobile gaming already before the breakthrough of digital distribution and app economy, the kind of like the mobile gaming as we understand it today. Second, and this is, I guess, also kind of echoing what Afra Kerr highlighted in her talk about the spatial nature of game histories, it is clear that all gaming platforms are shaped in the interplay between local and global tendencies, and therefore kind of like we have the kind of the opportunity to really try to kind of understand the Finnish context of today and how it kind of shaped the whole platform. And then thirdly, N-gage also provides a fruitful example to explore failure. As mentioned, there are both technological and cultural aspects that contribute to this discussion. And finally, we're also interested in exploring the afterlife of the console. In the Western markets, it disappeared pretty quickly, but this may not be the case in all parts of the world. And this is also like kind of highlighting or kind of like making the discussion of failure more complex and more interesting. But since I believe we might still have 1 or 2 minutes left, I don't know if Tom or Jaakko want to still add something, or since I said that was my last slide.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for a very engaging talk.